Hello and welcome to game number 2 between BratOK and WhiteRa. BratOK will be playing as the yellow Terran player at the 12 o'clock position. WhiteRa will be playing as the red Protoss player at the 9 o'clock position. And right off the bat, something weird is happening. A supply depot is being placed at the top of the ramp. This is not very normal, as a lot of Terran players do not like to build right next to the ramp because they could get picked off by stalkers or sentries as long as the Protoss player has vision of it. And it looks like the Protoss player will be warping in a gateway as well as chrono boosting his nexus for a lot of probes. And I'm still a little bit puzzled by the supply depot. In any event, there is a refinery going down for BratOK in the back, and it looks like WhiteRa will be able to scout BratOK right away, and he is going to take one shot at that SCV, and he's also building an assimilator inside his own base as well. Another SCV coming off the line to possibly help the SCV that is building the barracks, but it looks like this probe will harass the SCV that came off the line to start harassing that probe, and the barracks is about to be complete, and the probe will have to leave momentarily as I don't think he's seen the gas at the back just yet. He should probably check the back, and I think that is what he's going back for. And no, he's not. He's going to go back and pick a fight with the SCV, and it looks like he will be okay. He should make his exit momentarily as the SCV inside the base of WhiteRa is walking around. We'll see that his opponent does have one gas. WhiteRa, on the other hand, does not yet see the gas stuff at the back of the base, so he has to leave anyway because the Marine does come out and put pressure on him. If he does not leave, he will die. And this is a pretty good positioning of the gateway. I do like this because if you like to put your gateway right next to a lot of structures, there's a chance that the gateway units that come out might get stuck behind something, and that is one of the most annoying things about Starcraft, is getting your units stuck, especially on a gateway. And it looks like there will be a pylon being opened on the side. This SCV is still trying to do some sort of harassment and some sort of scouting, and one Marine is going to come out and check for pylons hidden around the map, but he's not going to find any. But it's always a good idea to do so because that will allow you to have a sense of safety and also prevent your opponent from doing something incredibly cheesy. And the SCV is going to stay out here. Makes me think he's going to try to close it off with another supply depot. This is a really weird way to build, but I suppose if you don't want your opponent to know what you're doing inside your base, this is one way to do it, because if you were to put barracks over here or some other structures, even though they could be sniped, you would give some piece of information to your opponent, but this way he will not be yielding any piece of information to his opponent. It looks like the chrono boost on the nexus is being saved, and no, it's not being saved anymore. Sentries are being chrono boosted out of the gateway, and the army size is at 27 versus 31. Both players are getting a lot of gas, but not so much for the Terran player as he is only on one gas. Both players have about the same amount of mineral income, as even though the Protoss player does have 5 more pros, but the Terran player does have that 1 mil, which is extremely helpful in getting more and more minerals. The SCV is going to come back around, trying to go up the ramp to see what's going on inside the base of his opponent without paying the fee of 200 and so minerals for the scan. And inside the base there are 2 gateways, 1 robotics facility, and inside the base of BratOK there is 1 barracks, 1 factory, and 1 starport, and he is supply block at the moment. That is never a good sign to see, and the probe is going to come around the map to go to the watchtower. In the meantime, the SCV from BratOK is going to go to the opposite tower, and they could probably see each other on each other's visions. That's pretty funny. It's always fun to see each other on each other's visions, and we could see that there are absolutely no attachments to any of these buildings. There is a 1-on-1 build, but there's absolutely no attachments. And one stalker is going to come around here and possibly kill off the SCV. No, it looks like he wants to dance with that statue on the side, and he will start shooting SCV, and the SCV will go down. And one medevac is going to sweep around. It looks like he is going to sweep around the vision of the control tower. If we take a look at the control tower, the medevac is right here on the minimap, and the control tower does not show the medevac going over there. And an observer is coming into the base of BratOK, and BratOK does know about it. He is moving his Marines accordingly, so the observer must not feel too safe as the Marines are following him around the map. That is very, very good detection there. Even though he does not have detection, BratOK seeing it with his naked eye. In the meantime, the medevac loaded with 3 Hellions are going to try to come into the base to do some harass, and we do see a robotics bay going down at the back, and I think with this harassment he will also spot the robotics bay, and we do see 1 Raven is being produced from the starport, and 2 tech labs have been attached, 1 to the factory, 1 to the starport, whereas the medevac is almost there. He is going to come in here. The robotics bay is about to be complete, and the observer is still hovering around the outside skirts of the base of BratOK, and it looks like he will drop off here, and ooh, that might have been a mistake. The 3 Hellions attacked the pylon, giving advance notice to WhiteRa that he is coming for an attack. He only gets 1 probe, it looks like, The other probes are weakened but not dead, and this medevac is forced to retreat. I think if he did not have a pylon here, and that Hellion might not have attacked that, and the medevac is coming in once again. He's really close to death. He's at red. One more hit, he would have been done. Ooh, he does drop off one of the Hellions. The Hellion does die, and I think that Hellion might have been able to save the medevac, actually. I think one of the Stalkers or one of the sentries stopped shooting the medevac and start shooting at the Hellion below, and the Nexus is going to be open. The army size is at 52 to 59 advantage for the Protoss player. And it looks like WhiteRa is going to move out here with some form of forces, and there's going to be another bunker going down for BratOK. BratOK knows something is coming, and his siege tech is moments away from finishing, about 20 or so more seconds. A pylon is being placed on the high edge for WhiteRa. WhiteRa is going to come in here. He doesn't have an observer in the front, and the Marines are going inside the bunker. The tanks are waiting for their siege tech, and the army size is at 58 to 61. We can see a lot of Marines. Most of them are in bunkers. 2 siege tanks sieging up, 1 Viking and more Vikings on the way, as well as 1 Raven. The Raven could put down a point defense drone that might be able to make a huge difference for BratOK, and it looks like the Stalker is going to come out here and to prevent the scout from the SCV. He wants to move away, and the SCV is going to... Is he going to see it? He is going to see 1 additional Stalker, but he does avoid the rest of his forces from being detected. But I assume that BratOK is going to assume something is going to happen, as that is not very normal for the Stalkers to just hang around there by themselves. And it looks like the starport is going to switch off with the barracks, and I think, ooh, maybe he does not suspect that he is unsieging. It looks like he is going to move out. This might be a mistake on the part of BratOK, as the army size is at 62 to 72. Very, very close in terms of the counts of the units, and additional units are being warped in at the moment, and there are 7 Zealots, 5 Stalkers, 2 Sentries, and 2 Colossus versus 3 tanks, 10 Marines, 1 Raven, and looks like there's going to be another tank joining the forces. The Thermal Lance is probably going to be chrono boosted, as 2 Hellions are being dropped off inside the base of WhiteRa, and it looks like he might be able to get some kills this time. He will get 2 probe kills, 3, 4 it looks like, but that's about it. A good harass nonetheless, forcing your opponent to do something else. And here we see WhiteRa is moving, the tanks are sieging up, the tanks are at the high ground, and he will not be able to... Ooh, he does take down the tank. I believe the tanks was actually shooting at the Zealots and hurting the tank as well. And the point defense drone is very helpful for the Vikings, allowing the Vikings to get closer to take shots at the Colossus and not taking return fire from the Stalkers, because the point defense drone will shoot down missiles, and what the Stalkers shoot are missiles, and therefore they don't work quite well. Tanks are moving out to siege. He wants to grab the expansion. Looks like the tanks are not siege, and WhiteRa is going to attack here. He is going to come inside. The Zealots are moving to the front lines. The Marines are getting into the midst of things. The point defense drone is helping, but the Colossus is simply too much. But the Colossus is kept taken down by the Ravens, but not the Vikings. The Vikings are landing to help, but I think there are simply too many Stalkers at the moment. Army size is at 43 to 63, and the Vikings are landing, and the Vikings are going down. SCVs are coming off the line here in a last-ditch effort to try to salvage it, and the Zealots are coming in from the back, and ooh, this Stalker actually moves back to prevent him from dying, and he's charging up the ramp. He's inside the base, and BratOK calls GG. Ooh, that is a cool, nice game from both these players. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Game number 3 will be coming in very shortly. If you like what you see, please do subscribe to me at youtube.com/useyourface. Thanks for watching. See you at the next game.